lesson today, we are going to be continuing our learning percentage journey around building on yesterday's lesson. Yesterday we talked about finding what is a percent increase. We looked at a percent of change, knowing that there is a change from an original amount, and that percent change can either increase, which means that it goes up, or decrease, which is the opposite that we're building on today about going down. We also use this equation of a new amount and original amount using subtraction and division. We're going to do the exact same thing today, except for shift some things around. So the process will be very similar, except we're going to be working in a different order. So first of all, we want to talk about our word for today. Our word for today is percent of decrease. A percent of decrease is when a percentage change goes down or decreases. So when the change goes down or decreases. So that means that we would be looking at a percentage number that shows something going in reverse, not increasing, but a decrease of X, Y, or Z percentage. So we're looking at a percent decrease, and that means that the change goes down or decreases. Okay. So let's talk about the type of equation that we're going to use today in order to find this solution, or the percent of decrease. So yesterday we started with a new amount. We're going to use a new amount, but we're also going to use the original amount. And today we're going to use the original amount first. So a percent of decrease is found by taking the original amount and subtracting the new amount. We're going to continue to use this formula or this equation by using division, again, with that original amount. So we're going to look at our original amount again, and we're going to subtract it by the new amount, and then our last step will be to divide it before we change it into a percentage. Okay, so just like we did yesterday, except on a decrease, these two on top are switched. Yesterday, new amount was first, then original. Today, we're doing original, then new. All right, so let's put this into action so you can see and hear and understand what it is that I am talking about. So our first example that we're going to use today talks about a softball player. Okay, this baseball player has a total of home runs. Okay, in 2016, this baseball player had 28 home runs. In 2017, this same baseball player had 20 home runs. So right away, you can see that this is different from yesterday's lesson because our starting value is bigger than our ending value. This one's smaller. Okay, yesterday we started with the smaller number and increased to a bigger number. So we're starting with a smaller number or a bigger number and decreasing to a smaller number. So our original amount in this lesson, or example, is 28. That is our original. And we will be decreasing down to a new amount of 20. So we can use this equation to solve for a percent of decrease. So we're going to start with 28 home runs. Our original amount was 28. And we're going to subtract 20 from this because that's our new amount. So original amount, new amount, and then at the end we're going to divide by 28. So we can see that 28 minus 20 is 8. And then we're going to just slide this divided by 28 over, and we're going to get an answer of, let's use our calculator here, 8 divided by 28, and that gives us an answer of, oh my goodness, 285 thousandths. Well, let's talk about rounding here. We don't want all of this information. So we're going to take the first three numbers, 0.285, and we're going to use the 5 to round. So roughly, the rough amount here is 0.29. You could also make this hold on, let's convert this to a percentage. So if we multiply it by 100, this gives us 29%. Okay? You can also look at this and move your decimal point 1, 2, and give yourself 28.5%. Either of these answers would be acceptable. The answer will come to you based on what they ask for. So if they ask rounded to the nearest hundredth, we would give them this answer. If they ask us for more of a precise answer, we would give them this one. Either way, what we have here is a number that has no definitive end. Okay, so either of these two answers. So this means that the player hit 28.5% less home runs in the new season. Ultimately, that's what it means. He hit fewer home runs this year than last year. So his batting average went down. All right, let's look at another example. So our next example that we're going to look at is example B. In example B, it says that there was a percent of change from 20 days to 12 days. All right, so we have a change. They want to know what is the percent, but we have a change. This could mean that maybe you started out working 20 days and then went down to working only 12 days. Maybe you were counting down. There were 20 days of school left. Now there's only 12 days of school left. We don't know what the context is behind it other than our original amount was 20. Our new amount changed to 12. So we're going to do the same exact thing that we did up here by taking the original amount and subtracting our new amount. So we're going to do 20 minus 12, And then we're going to divide all of that by the original amount, which was 20. So 20 minus 12 gives us 8, and we're going to divide that by 20. So for those of you who have been asking about the calculator and how to use it, first of all, the most important thing, because you can see that my answer is still here from the last problem, we're going to clear this out. Don't start a new problem without clearing out your old one. The second thing that we want to look at is starting with the top of this problem for order of operations, right? Solve the top first, then go to the bottom. So 20 minus 12 gives us 8, which we already knew. I'm going to hit the equal sign too many times. 20 minus 12 equal sign is 8. Now I'm ready to hit the divided by sign. You don't want to put everything in there all at once because our calculator will not hold that all. So now we're ready to divide by 20, and that gives us 0.4. So 0.4, we can now take this and multiply by 100, which just multiply by 100, move your decimal point, and that gives us 40%. The other way that you could look at this, for those of you who don't want to use the calculator, you can take this number 0.4 and know 100 has 1, 2 spots, so I'm going to go 1, 2, and just fill in the empty spot with 40%, with a 0 for 40. So to answer this question, the change was a decrease. So there was a 40% decrease in days. 40% decrease in the amount of days. All right, go ahead and hit pause right now if you need to finish writing this part of the problem down. I'm going to go to the next page and we are going to do our try it. So our try it for today, let's see what they say. The try it has a percent change in home runs from 2014 to 2015. So it says that in 2014, there were 18 home runs. In 2015, there were now 10 home runs. Okay, our job is to determine what is the percent of change. So what is the percent of change between 2014 to 2015? What is the percent of change? Aside from knowing that our batter is not very reliable. All right, go ahead and hit pause right now so that you don't hear me solving this problem. And then when you are ready, go ahead and hit play. All right, so we're going to start with our original amount. The original amount, just like before, original amount minus the new amount was 18. So I have 18. I'm going to subtract that new amount, which is 10. 8 has been a very popular number today. And we're going to divide that by 18. So we get 8 divided by 18. And we are going to see what it is that we have for our percent decrease. So 8 divided by 18. Nope, that's 10 missing letter. 8 divided by 18 gives us, I'm going to redo it just to make sure. 8 divided by 18. There we go. 0.444. Okay, so these are the rational numbers we're talking about, or irrational, right? There's no ending in sight. It is for repeating. So on this problem, we're just going to look at, it looks like that, okay? We're going to use that little sign right there for repeating, and we're just going to multiply this by 100, and that's going to give us that 44%. Okay, 44%. So, the batter had a 44% decrease in home runs. 44% decrease in home runs. All right, go ahead now and answer your essential question. How do we find the percent of change, a percent of decreased change? And then put your level of understanding out to the side. Where are you at with this? 1, I'm still trying to wrap my head around original and new and figuring out decimals and everything else. 2, I am doing okay with this. I understand how to set up the problem. I just need to continue to practice. 3, I'm good to go. I know how to put the original number in, look for the starting number, the ending number, look at was it an increase, a decrease, and know how to put it into a sentence. And then when you are ready, you can either come back to the Google Meet and ask for help if you need it, or you can go and do your practice work. As always, I appreciate all of your hard work and effort, and make it a great day.